You're listening to Sudbury News Talk.
I want to show you something.
Stand by. On the morning shift.
Anything
could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
All right, everyone. Welcome to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh. Glad to be here with you. Thankful that you're here with us. We got a great show planned for you today. Sorry for the late start. It's technology yesterday, technology today. It's a blessing and a cursing all in the same breath, because on one hand, it allows us to be able to do this show remotely each and every day, allowing me to actually do the show because of my schedule. But at the same time holds us back in so many ways when you need so many devices and there's so many glitches that could happen. But anyways, we're here. We're late, but we're going to have a great show. And great news, too. We have a Nick Gervais who's waiting to come on and talk about all the latest issues of the day. And we have many of them because some days are news heavy, which we have today. And some days, not so much. There's, it just seems like lacking in depth of news coverage. But today's one of those days where there's all kinds of news going on, and we'll talk about it. Mainly, which is always a hot topic, is the homelessness crisis, not only in our world, in our country, in our province, but in our city itself. Right now, what are we doing to deal with this homelessness crisis that we got? And our stories are mainly going to be coming from the Sudbury Star this morning. They did a great job in covering it. But we'll go through news headlines from Sudbury.news, our news aggregator. We're live on CKLU 96.7 FM. We're also streaming live at CKLU.ca. Click on the Radio Player Canada app, stream us. You can also download that same Radio Player Canada app and take us with you and listen to us anywhere, anytime on your favorite device. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow our Facebook and YouTube, which we're going to be live. We are live on right now. Mainly comment. We'll do our best to get your comments up on the screen, read for those listening, and up on the screen for those watching. We may not be able to get all of them read, but we'll get all of them up on the screen. And we appreciate your comments. So if you're new to the show and you haven't checked in before, please do. Just say, hey, hi from so-and-so, from such and such. A lot of people watching from Sudbury area, also areas around Ontario, around the world for that matter. Many expatriates from Sudbury check in to see what's going on in this great city of ours. And we're also on demand on Facebook and YouTube after the live, and twitter.com/Sudbury News and Sudbury.news. Just click on the Sudbury News Talk tab, and voila, you can watch the show afterwards as well. But the conversation only continues on Facebook. So we'll dive in with some weather. We'll come back with Anik, see what she's been up to lately. We'll talk about the news headlines of the day. We'll do a deep dive into the homelessness crisis here in the city and what the Sudbury Star has to say about it. And then we will also have your comments we'll do some check-ins and some comments from yourselves as well. So we'll be back with news headlines and Nick Gervais, your comments and more right after this. All right, and as usual, the weather brought to you by Duck Check. Visit duckcheck.com for all the latest, greatest in for your duck check and cleaning needs. I'm just trying to switch around here and find the right template. So currently it's 19 degrees, misty out there. And today you can expect it to be mainly cloudy with a 30% chance of showers late this afternoon. Fog patches dissipating this morning. High of 28, humidex 35. Yes, humidex 35. It's been very humid lately. So anyone with breathing problems and such, I feel for you. UV index is 7 or very high. Tonight, partly cloudy with a 30% chance of showers early this evening, then clear. Fog patches developing overnight. Low of 17. Thursday, sunny. Fog patches dissipating in the morning. High of 30 with the humidex. 36 tomorrow. 36 with the humidex and sunny tomorrow. Friday, 29 and cloudy. 40% chance of showers on Saturday with a high of 26. And then a mix of sun and cloud for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 23 and 24 degrees for those 3 days. And that's, look at your satellite here. A lot of clearing over Greater Sudbury. A lot of that cloud activity moving out towards the east. That's your Sudbury weather, brought to you by Duck Check. Visit duckcheck.com or give them a call at 705-918-4848, serving Greater Sudbury and Muskoka areas for all your duck cleaning and inspection needs. Let them know that we sent you, and you'll get $100 off your next duck cleaning and inspection. We'll be back with news headlines, your comments, and Nick Gervais and more right after this. Stay tuned. Okay, and we are here with Nick. So, Nick, how are you doing today?
I am doing good, Aaron. Thanks for having me on your show. I'm excited to be here.
Well, thanks for volunteering. Last night we were chatting, and you said, you know what, I could be on. Who's on the show tomorrow? And I said, well, I don't have anyone tomorrow. And you said, can I come on or I'll be on, basically? And I said, for sure, like always.
Yes.
Life's interesting lately, right? So all kinds of new things going on. And,
I think it's like parallel. It's happening. I have a lot of friends that are going through a lot of things, and it's parallel. Like, she's going through a lot of things. I'm going through a lot of things. The world's going through a lot of things. There's just a lot of layers happening in the world. Things are really moving to like lightning speed, I feel like. So it's kind of just makes sense that there's a lot of things going on.
So not only in your life, but in everyone's life or whatever. And the world is a lot of interesting things going on at the moment.
Yeah.
Right? You got the U.S. elections, all the stuff going on around that.
Yeah. Everything going on with the Olympics and mocking the last dinner. And then the power just goes out. Like, is that a coincidence? Like, mocking God is probably the worst thing you can do. And just
I've never made that connection myself, but yeah, I think it could be.
Really?
No, I just never, because it's really, you know what I mean? When it's after a while with the powers that be, with what they stand for and what they're doing and what they think of us and on all this stuff, I just I think by just giving them, like, I don't really, I'm starting to not waste my time on it in my mind, kind of thing.
I definitely didn't watch it because I don't really have TV, but you could watch it anywhere. But I just saw the last dinner. I saw everything that happened. And then following day, Paris lost power, and they still don't know what happened. And then it just went back on. Okay.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't put it. Yeah. That connection is valid for sure. You know, I would definitely entertain that thought. And speaking of entertainment,
and then they came out. Did you see they came out and apologized, but not really an apology? It was just like, I'm sorry we offended you guys, but this was art, pretty much. The message. It wasn't like, anyway. And now you can't find the video anywhere. They've deleted it. They've removed the whole opening ceremony. But I like when people are stepping up, like Christians are stepping up, people are stepping up. And this is the beauty thing about things, Aaron, is that when there's so much of the opposite that comes, other people finally come out of the woodworks and they voice their opinions. So it's not all bad.
No, and that's the thing. We were talking about that yesterday on the show, that sometimes, you have to be awakened from things. You just let things go until eventually you're like, wait a minute. You got to push back, and you always have to be pushing back. But I made an analogy of not an analogy, but an observation of my grandson. He wanted to play in the sink, and he wanted to pour water from the cup somewhere, and he wanted to pour it in another cup. So he went to pour it on a cup on the counter, and I said, no. I put the cup in the sink so he wasn't going to spill water all over the counter. He's only 3 years old, right? So, anyways, every single water that he wanted to pour, he kept going up onto the counter. And I said, no. And then he'd pour it into the sink in another cup. And then once he got that, he'd pick it up and he'd want to pour it on the counter every time. Like this is like 30 times in a row. And I said, all it takes for me is just one time go, oh my goodness, I'm just tired of keeping to tell him no,
Right.
no, and then eventually he'll just do it. And I think that's what the powers that be know that they do. They just continue like a glacier to slowly move, and they'll just keep at it until
because
eventually
we've created a system where now you need to cook dinner. Now you got to clean your house. Now you got to do this stuff. Now your other daughter wants you. Now this happens. So life is just so busy that you're just like, okay, you know what? Do whatever you want.
Kind of thing.
To the child. So now he's pouring on the counter, and it's just making a big mess because we've created a system where we are just so insanely busy, hoping to automate our life that we have more times with our family, but the opposite is actually happening these days.
Yeah, it's true. And then you have, if there are people in power that have an agenda that they want to push forward and it's not in the benefit of humankind, basically, eventually they're going to get their way because they don't stop. They're very persistent. Yeah. So, and I also said I admire that about them in a way.
Yeah.
Now, do you have sound on somewhere on your side? Because there's a little bit of an echo.
Oh,
just
no.
Wondering if you.
1 second. Let's see if my speaker's on.
Yeah, I just hear a small echo. Sounds like it's still there, but
no.
Okay, no problem. It is what it is. We will deal with that. And a little bit of a check-in here with some people joining us online. Nana, blessings, everyone. Good morning, Nana. Thanks for being with us. And Kevin, good morning, my friends and family. And then Vin, good morning to you. Morning, Vin. Thanks for being with us. Judy, good morning. And Monique, good morning, Sudbury, with a sunshine emoji and a smiley with shades. That's my favorite emoji, the smiley one with shades. My daughter says, that's a cringe-worthy emoji to always use. But
why?
I don't know. It's just kind of like, I don't know. But that's the one I like using the most.
Morning, Judy.
Yeah. And Miles says, good morning. Like I said yesterday, you should look up Jasmine Lane from Winnipeg, radio personality on YouTube. Okay. Jasmine Lane. Shout out for her. And yes, if I can, right now I'm in mode of getting my master's assignments in order to graduate. I had some people helping me. I had Anne helping me. You know Anne, Nick, yesterday. And it was great. We thought we wouldn't be able to figure out a glitch in a template, but we did. We figured out there was two small little things making all my totals go,
right,
skewed. And we figured it out. I was like, it's a miracle. So anyways, so I have people helping me. I have her, I have Aaron, I have Zach helping me with each one of their expertise with different projects that I have. So
hey, community, it's so great.
I know. Yeah, network of people that
I don't think we utilize our community enough. And I think sometimes we don't really want to bother other people, but there's blessings attached to that. And when you are open of asking for help, people that are helping you will receive blessings.
For sure.
And you can build, it's all about connection. Life is all about connection, and it's all about building community. And I think the people in the works or in power don't want us to be connected.
Well, I told you, right? The Facebook, one of the reasons why I can't be monetized is because I promote conversations.
Right.
I promote people expressing their points of view on political issues and social issues. So that's one of the main reasons why they don't monetize somebody. I'm like, wow, well, that tells you something about that platform.
Exactly.
Good morning, Pat. Thanks for being with us this morning. And Marianne, good morning from Grayberry. Interesting. Oh, sorry, Gray. Yeah, you did. Grayberry, like you shared as usual. Okay. And good morning from Collingwood with a peace sign. Thank you very much, Liette. Mike is on this morning. Mike Perrant. Good morning, friends. Good morning, Mike. Thanks for being with us. Debbie says good morning with a smiley emoji. And people specifically, good morning, and Monique and Marianne, good morning, and Nick. Pair of accidents on 144 yesterday. One car rollover near Onaping. Driver was fined shortly after a new to Canada driver was speeding and hit a friend of mine on his mobile scooter near the gas station in Dowling. Sadly, my
Oh
friend
no.
didn't survive.
Wow,
Oh
Vince, I'm
my.
so sorry.
Vin, what the heck?
Vin.
Wow.
Wow.
I wasn't expecting that at the end. I was expecting, hurt or something, but condolences for your friend, Vin. My goodness. What a
Wow.
sad thing to have happen. Hit
I
on a
know.
scooter. Wow.
Mm.
I've often thought of that too, just bikers on the side of the, bicyclers
Well,
on
everybody's
the
on
side
their
of the highway
phone.
and stuff. Maybe,
You're just so distracted these days.
maybe. And, yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
That's really sad. Wow. I've noticed an increase in accidents lately. There was a limousine that was hit, a
Hmm.
limousine 12 passenger van in Valcarran. I think it was Saturday night. There's been all kinds of accidents lately. Maybe it's just summer. I have no idea. I don't know the reason for all the accidents we've been having.
Mm. Apparently, terrorists in Paris have been attacking certain sections of the power grid in Paris. You know what, Miles?
Hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, no, we're going to see more and more of that, unfortunately, coming up. And yes, many people pouring out condolences for Vin, his friend. And we're going to see more of that. Good morning, Claire. Thanks for being on. Marianne, they removed their video. It's called Damage Control. And they offer a sad version of a sorry, like you said, right?
Mhm.
They didn't really say sorry. They said, sorry, you're offended.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought with that whole movement, the movement that's been hijacked that doesn't really represent the people that live it, I find.
Right.
Because I
Yes.
know
Let's be inclusive, but we're not inclusive.
yeah, exactly. And they're very
Yes.
provoking all the time, poking the bear. Like
And
this
just
meme that came out at the beginning of Pride Month from a lot of people saying, wishing all homophobes a super uncomfortable month. It's like, what does that even mean? Like,
right.
that's not all inclusive and loving and whatever. That's poking the bear and gaslighting and
Yeah, it is
creating
gaslighting.
havoc. Like, that's not loving and inclusive
No.
to me. But I
No.
see that message coming out a lot. And then that opening ceremony was very much like that meme. It was almost like, yeah, here we are, suck it up. You know what I mean? Sorry if we offended you. Not sorry
Like, I'm
for doing
sorry
it.
I'm a grown man and I'm naked and your child is right there. I'm sorry. But during Pride Month, I'm allowed to be naked anywhere I want. And it's not a crime.
Yeah. It's the
It's
thing,
very
right?
odd.
I just wish we could come out and, like Facebook doesn't want us to do, is have a discussion about these types of things, like a public discussion. And but they don't want people to hear. They just want people to hear the one message they have, right? And they
Yes.
don't want to hear people's points of view on it, because other people might say, yeah, you know what? There's other people who think like me. I
Right.
thought I was the only one. I didn't want to speak up because I thought I was the only one.
And then the power of connection will start happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then a momentum could start happening. And then people are going to stand up a little bit more. And now that person will share their opinion maybe more often because they feel like there's a community supporting them. So I
Exactly.
could see why they wouldn't want that. But Aaron, I was thinking maybe today you can share the link of how people can support the show.
Okay,
I'm
I'll put
sure.
that on the bottom. I think I have
Yeah.
that here somewhere. Not sure what happened to it. Maybe it's there. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for that, Nick. I appreciate that. I don't normally put that up, but yeah, thank you. So Denise, hurt me with the truth. I don't want to live a lie. Oh, that's cruel. Cool statement. Hurt me with the truth. I don't want to live a lie. Yeah, and on
The
that
truth
note,
can hurt.
I think there's something I shared here with myself because I wanted to share it on the show. German philosopher here. It's a meme with a quote. I often share these on my regular Facebook page, not the Sudbury News one. I'm meaning my personal one. And this is from Hannah Arendt, and she lived from 1906 to 1975. She's a German historian and philosopher. She says, this consistent lying is not aimed at making the people believe a lie, but at ensuring that no one believes anything anymore. A people that can no longer distinguish between truth and lies cannot distinguish between right and wrong. And such a people, deprived of the power to think and judge, is, without knowing and willing it, completely subject to the rule of lies. With such people, you can do whatever you want. Was that profound or what?
That is profound.
So that was Hannah Arendt, Arendt, a German historian and philosopher. I thought that was very profound and needed to be shared. And thank you very much for that, Denise, because it gave us the opportunity to share that. Hurt me with the truth. I don't want to live a lie, for sure. And it's hard now. Again, right? You ever notice when you're talking to people and you're saying these things, their eyes just kind of gloss over? This is what's really going on. And they're like, it's just too much information for them. You're making their brain
it is
work.
Yes, it's too much information. They're like, Nick, if you're right, then everything I know is a lie.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, guys, like, why can't we just be open to that? Why can't we just be open to that? Like, why can't we have that conversation? But people don't even want to go there. They don't even want to open up their eyes. They just want to stay in their lane, wherever that goes, regardless of how stressful that lane's bringing them. But it's just very interesting. Humans are very interesting.
Yeah, and like Vin's saying, society doesn't know it. It takes months and months, if not years of planning
decades.
All of these things, right?
Yes.
So that means things are being done on purpose. It's not just happenstance. Oh, look, what's the opening ceremonies of the Olympics? Oh, they just thought it was a good idea and put it together, and oh, whoops. You know, no, this is very crafted for a reason. And
everything's crafted. I saw a video about the torch that they carry at opening ceremonies and the torch in the
what it symbolizes.
The New York statue, Liberty, that torch. And then
the eternal flame, flame.
If you look at the plaque that talks about it, it was given by the Masons.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of deep meaning behind the eternal flame. Right? It's a flame that constantly burns. And so they just take a portion of it and they continue it on at the Olympics, and they light the big flame thing, and then the torch continues afterwards, and the flame's always burning.
Right.
Kind of thing.
And then the symbolism. And it's just so funny. People are just like, oh, Nick, you're just a conspiracy theorist. But it's written on the plaque.
Oh, I know.
It's written on the plaque.
I know.
It's written there.
I know.
It's given by the Masons. And it's just everything's a coincidence. Everything's just a coincidence. I was just like, oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's the thing. I remember, just uncovering history itself. I was like, history is this? And people were still believing a lie. But I'm like, look, it's very evident in history that this is the way things are. And just people are like, almost like, well, everyone's going along with this, so that's what I'm going to go along with.
Yeah.
You just go along. It's like that. I've shared this time and time again. There used to be a show called Candid Camera back in the day. And they used to play pranks on people and video it. Kind of like Just for Laughs, that one there with they do little pranks on people. They do it out of Montreal. Anyways, so there was one episode where they did two things. So they had an elevator where everyone was facing the back.
Oh.
And the elevator door opens and everyone's facing the back. Like, who faces the back in an elevator normally?
Yes.
Nobody. 0 people face the back.
Yeah.
But there was like 6 or 7 people in this elevator facing the back. So the door opens. The person looks at all these people facing the back. What do you think they did?
They turned back.
They just walked in and faced the back like everyone else.
I know.
So that's... Go ahead.
This happens, Aaron. And I wonder about this. I wonder if I'm ever put in that situation. Because I'm so vocal, I'd be like, hey, what's going on, guys? Why are you guys facing it? Where most people aren't vocal. They're just going to...
Yeah, they're just going to go along with it. They don't want controversy, right? And they don't know... They haven't been thinking enough to build a foundation to be able to argue their point enough, because they just go along with everything. So even if they did think the thought of, wait a minute, I normally face this way in the elevator, and I know everyone's facing the back, but so why would I face the back? It's just
you're the lone wolf.
Yeah, I don't want to
You don't want to be the lone wolf.
I want everyone to look at me and go, why are you facing the front when we're all facing the back?
Well, it's because you guys are a bunch of idiots, and this is not how we're supposed to be in an elevator.
So after that skit, they did another one to show the same point, and this one's even worse, or even whatever. A doctor's office. They walk into a doctor's office, and everyone's in their underwear, like in the waiting room.
No.
Yeah, you walk into the doctor's office, everyone's in their underwear, and you can see on the wall is where they put their clothes. So
No.
I'm not kidding. So and then they don't say anything to the person. The person stands, they're the only one with clothes on in this waiting room. So what do? They
No.
start undressing.
No.
Yeah, I'm not kidding you.
No.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. They took off their clothes too, just like everyone else. You know, they don't want to be the only one with clothes on in the waiting room because everyone else is in their underwear.
I wonder in these experiments if they survey the people that they're going to do the experiment for. Like they want to find someone who is going to do that. Because there's different levels.
Well, and to their benefit, not everybody, like on the show, they'll show like several people doing it. They don't just do it to one person. And there'll be the odd person that's like, what? I'm not undressing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But it's very few
people
would be that person, right?
Wow.
Are you that person? I'm speaking to all of us here. Are you that person?
Yeah.
That would not take your clothes off because it's not the right thing to do, even though everyone else is
doing it.
Right? So
but it just shows how easily it is to manipulate.
Oh, people. For sure. Oh, 100%. Yeah, global agenda on full display, but still just a conspiracy. That's Finn. And Marion was saying the damage is done. I will never look at the Olympics the same way. My understanding of the Olympics was especially during what time the countries came together and put everything aside. Guess what we have been told and taught was BS. So yeah, the idea of the Olympics is supposed to be leave all your ideologies and things at the door, come in and just compete. And you know what I mean? There's no politicizing things at the Olympics, but no, that is not the case.
Right.
Okay. So I just wanted to quickly go through the news headlines from Sudbury.news and let everyone know, if you haven't heard about Sudbury.news, it's a news aggregator for Sudbury News. You go there, Sudbury.news, and it's got Sudbury Star, Sudbury.com. It's got CTV Northern Ontario, and it's got CBC Sudbury on there, all the stories. I like to just go through the headlines. And good morning, Evelyn. Thanks for being on. Been busy here on the homestead. Sorry I haven't been around. Have a nice day, everyone. Evelyn, thank you so much for being on. Really appreciate you. And homestead, way to go. You're doing the right thing for sure. Many people want to be doing that these days, having a homestead. 100% Grand Rising, Monique. Grand Rising with a smiley emoji and a heart emoji. So here we go. And also headlines from Sudbury.news. I want to get this up on the screen at least in the lower third. Intimate partner investigation leads to weapons charges. So this is coming from Sudbury.com. This is West Nipissing, a 38-year-old from West Nipissing, whose name will not be released to protect the victims, is facing numerous charges, including 2 counts of assault with a weapon. That's Sudbury.com. CBC, impaired driving charges on the rise in Sudbury. Speaking of traffic and accidents on the rise lately, maybe that's not a coincidence. In 2021, the Greater Sudbury Police Service saw a steep increase in impaired driving offenses. That year, they were 329 impaired driving offenses, up from 197 the previous year. The numbers have stayed around above 300 offenses per year since then. So it's definitely, pandemic, I think, caused that, I would think.
Yeah.
Because that's right smack dab in the middle of it. And that's when the increase came, and it's stayed up ever since. Now we have Peter. Good morning, Pete. Thanks for being on, sharing a link to something. I'm not sure what it is, but I invite everyone to head on over to Pete's link, check it out, what it is. And good morning, Pete. Coming from Sudbury.com, they have the stories to start your day. You just click on that, and they have a few stories there. It's always a great read of news for the day. Judge serves decision on review of the $510 million in lawyers' fees for Robinson Huron Treaty litigation settlement, a judge has reserved ruling on a challenge of the fairness of the $510 million being paid to lawyers who argued the landmark $10 billion Robinson Huron Treaty and annuities settlement. Are you aware of that? Like the payout that a lot of First Nations have gotten from the Robinson Huron Treaty, that many people will be making a little bit of money from that, Nick?
It looks like I'm frozen. I think you could hear me though.
I can hear you. I don't know why you're frozen, but
Yeah, I don't know. My computer's acting up.
you look,
But
you look very, very like focused
serious.
in the freezing of a Nick there. You look very, very focused. So that's good. At least it's
super
got you.
focused. I was aware that there is a big chunk of money coming, and it's interesting the opinions I'm hearing from my friends who are First Nations, how they were just agreeing you just can't give people money to fix problems. Money doesn't just fix problems.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah.
And if you're smart, it could really help your family, and it
Yeah.
not that
There's a few kidnappings and things taking place on Manitoulin Island. That some people at the office anyways attributed to some of this money that was being given. So I don't know what just happened there. We lost a Nick, but maybe she'll come back. Hopefully we can have her soon. Technical difficulties is not anything new that we're not used to here. Average data breach cost Canadian organizations $6.32 million. IBM study says Canadian organizations embroiled in data breaches wind up paying on an average $6 million to resolve the incidents. A new study from IBM says. So yeah, data breaches, it's the way of the future. I don't know if any of our data is safe. So Nick, you're back on, but your screen is black. I'm not sure what's going on there, but we'll see as Nick.
weird.
Yeah, at least you're there. Like at least your voice is here. It's like you're on the phone. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm here. Yeah, exactly. There you go. It's
yes.
crazy how like there's just so much money being thrown around, like a
It is.
lot.
Yeah. Well, again, right? This is pent up from years and years and years. These are treaties that were signed by what at the time was the Canadian government and promised the Indigenous peoples royalties on whatever natural resources were taken from the land that were negotiated on, and the government never came clean on their promises.
Of course not.
So now it's been built up for all these years.
Yes.
And so, yeah, it might seem a lot of people might say, oh, well, they're getting all this money. At the same time, though.
No, sorry.
It's a
I
business
thought you were
deal.
talking about it. Yeah. No, for
Yeah.
sure. I thought you were talking about IBM. I just heard the end
Oh,
of your
yes.
conversation about.
Sorry. Yeah, IBM, the data breaches and things. It's costing companies millions of dollars to get through these data breaches from, it's all leading to the security that we need the internet to be more secure. So there's going to be more checks and balances. You're going to need to have a secure digital ID going forward. And it's going to be connected to your driver's license, your banking, because banks will be breached as well. And so you'll need a digital ID.
My friend lives in Germany, and he was telling me that if you want a dog, you need to ask the government. And the government will come and... What?
Oh, you were just cutting out a bit, but if you need a dog, you have to ask the government first before you get a dog.
Exactly. And they will come and verify your home, and they will tell you which kind of dog you're allowed to have.
What?
Yeah. And then they can stop by your house at any moment to verify that you are protecting and you're taking care of your dog.
Wow. That's taking it to another level.
I know.
That's incredible. That's terrible. But coming to a place near us in Beaumatin.
Exactly.
Diane Beaumatin. And Julia, good morning. You know Julia.
I know Julia.
Yeah. And good morning, Julia. Thanks for being on, guys. We got a couple other headlines. The headline that Vin was talking about his friend, it doesn't mention that there was a fatality. It just says in the headline from Sudbury.com that unconfirmed reports say a mobility scooter was hit. That's all it says. So,
Wow.
so this is fresh off the presses, I guess, news that terrible, by the way. Just arrived. Good morning. Thanks, Brian, for being on. And Jen, good morning to you on Facebook. You know, sorry, on YouTube. I've noticed we're getting a lot more. Either the algorithm is letting us know we have a lot of people coming on YouTube now, more than before. It used to say no views or
Yep.
2 views. Now it's saying right at the end of the show, 20 views, 21 views right away. So we know quite a few people are watching us on YouTube now. Appreciate you. Thanks for being on. So this is related to what's going on. So transport truck had numerous missing lug nuts. This is Sudbury.com as well. OPP said it was fortunate a trailer wheel didn't fall off on a truck. It was missing a bunch of lug nuts. Like who does that? Like terrible. And then the funnel cloud was spotted in Little Current. You know, like a little tornado cloud. And there's a picture of it there. I'll get it up if I can get the picture up here for the peoples. Yeah, there's going to be an advertisement which takes away from the picture, but I could care less. So here we go. Funnel cloud.
Wow.
Over Little Current. Could have been a water spout. Not sure. But yeah, that was, I believe, yesterday. So pretty cool stuff there. Luckily, the damage wasn't too much. And also, I think that does it for headlines here. There's more. So visit, Sudbury man's electric wheelchair stolen. A Sudbury man's electric wheelchair was stolen during a break and enter earlier this month, and replacing it won't be covered by insurance. That story coming from CTV, Northern Ontario. Terrible. You know what I mean? Who does that?
That is terrible.
What the heck?
Like if you have home insurance or tenant insurance, it should be covering it.
I guess so.
Well, hopefully someone will open up a GoFundMe account and get himself a.
Yeah.
Because that's really sad.
It is. Now, Sudbury Star, I don't know if you get this, but I do. And good morning, Bob. Don't forget.
Oh.
Hitler wrote the animal rights charter that we still use. Yeah, that's true.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, Mark has a lot of history tidbits in that on that subject.
Is that the Mark that I know?
Yeah, it's Bob, but yeah, he's really good friends with someone named Mark.
Oh, okay. So
let's see. Also, the Sudbury Star has a really great newsletter. If you haven't subscribe because they send it to you about 7:00 each morning with some news headlines. And we're going to take the next one from them. That how the city of Greater Sudbury deals with homeless encampments. The city of Greater Sudbury says it works to connect those who are homeless with services before it removes an encampment. So you got an encampment there. They see it and they try to connect them with services before they dispel any of the encampments. In outlining the Greater Sudbury encampment strategy, the city said in a release that responding to an encampment is a coordinated effort between municipal law enforcement officers, social services staff, and community partners, including Greater Sudbury Police Service. Quote, the response involves connecting individuals with resources and housing-focused supports before removing an encampment, the city said. Now, I thought this was interesting because we don't have enough housing. So how can they connect them? It says housing-focused supports. Do you find that wording a little bit interesting?
Yes.
They connect them with housing-focused supports before removing an encampment. But it doesn't connect them with housing because there's not enough housing, obviously. When an encampment is located on city property, law enforcement officers will connect the individuals with services and serve notice that they are not permitted to be encamped on city property. But where are they going to live then? So, okay, they serve them a notice, but where are they going to live?
Like you're serving them a notice. What do you think they're going to
Yeah.
do with this notice,
I
Aaron?
have no idea. They're going to notice it.
You know.
They're going to notice the notice. Greater Sudbury experiences dramatic rise in homelessness. This is a whole other story. Same topic on the same newsletter from the same news outlet, Sudbury Star. At least 200 people are homeless and living in encampments across 49 locations in the city of Greater Sudbury. That's what the city says.
Wow.
There are 200 people living in 49 locations across the city. That's a dramatic increase compared to 2023 when city officials knew of 77. So
Wow.
it's more than doubled, almost tripled. People who are living in 44 locations. In a release, the city says the reasons for increasing homelessness in Canada are, quote, systematic and complex, including increasing market rents, inadequate social assistance rates, insufficient mental health and addiction supports, and lack of investment in affordable housing by senior levels of government.
Yeah.
Locally, we are seeing the impact with an increasing number of people unable to maintain permanent housing. Duh. City staff outlined reasons for homelessness in its roadmap to end homelessness by 2030. Remember that? Report says by City Council, approved in May 28. So do you think the city is going to eradicate homelessness by 2030?
Definitely not. No.
Yes, no. Good answer.
No.
I don't think so either, but it's a good focus, I guess.
It's a good focus, but like, what are they truly doing? They're not even doing anything since they started talking about it. We have to get them off the streets. We have to get them involved in our community. We have to give them some worth. We need to share and give them love. That's what they need is love. But if you don't love yourself, why are you going to love your life? And then that's when you make bad decisions.
So again, and I know that Debbie just made a comment about the borders, right? Like the amount of immigration we have, whether it's legal or illegal. We also know that students, you remember they said they were going to calm down the amount of students coming into the country? Well, no, it's increased actually. It's increased. Since they said that.
You can tell, just walk around.
Oh, I know. So they don't say anything of this.
It's hard for anybody to get a job.
The city doesn't say anything about increased immigration in their reasons.
True.
The city said the reasons for increasing homelessness in Canada are systematic and complex. I'll give them that. That is true. They are systematic. You know, policies by our government to bring in millions of people when we don't have the infrastructure, we don't have houses, including increasing market rents, inadequate social assistance rates, insufficient mental health and addiction supports, and lack of investment in affordable housing. Not one thing about immigration policies, which is could be looked at as the main thing. So let's say the immigration wasn't the way that it was, and I'm not against immigration. Actually, I have so many good friends I've met as a result of the immigration. It's not the thing. But if you're going to make these policies, make sure you have the amount, make sure you're ready for it. Make sure you have systems in place that are going to support it, which we do not have. Right? So shame on the city for not acknowledging it. It's just like the elevator thing. They don't want to be the ones to say it because they're told not to say it. Don't say this, you know, because it's a bad word to say. That immigration, it could be looked at as racist or something. They don't want to be the ones to just call it out and just call a spade because it is what it is. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Immigration is
How
affecting.
are we supposed to change when we're not really aware of all of the problems? How can I change if I'm not aware of my problems and how I am acting and how I'm conducting? I need to be aware and not in denial if I'm going to make any change with myself. It's the same thing with the city.
Exactly. Good. Well spoken, Nick. And you had the last word because it's all the time we got.
Well, there you go. That happened fast.
I know. It goes fast if it's a full hour, but when it's only 45 minutes, it goes even faster.
It's true.
Look forward to the next time you're able to be on the show, Nick. You just say the word. You're welcome anytime. The viewers and the listeners love having you on all the time, as usual. So thanks for being on, and thanks everyone for commenting today and being with us. Stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU 96.7 FM. See you same time, same place tomorrow. Thanks, Nick, for being with us.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
Ciao, everyone. Have a great one.